Hey everybody, Satoli here with History in Your Own Backyard. Today I'm near St. Bernard, Ohio. Right behind me, you'll see what appears to be a tunnel going under that hillside. That actually goes under the railroad tracks and goes under I-75 over to St. Bernard, Ohio. There's a whole story behind this. Stay tuned and I'll tell you about it. First off, I would like to thank Kay Heller Phillips with the St. Bernard-Ludlow Grove Historical Society. Without her help in research, this video never would have happened. There's a piece of history in St. Bernard that most people have never seen, although thousands of people come within 15 feet of this unusual historic site every day. It's a pedestrian tunnel underneath I-75. Back in the early 1900s, the rail lines running north and south along the western edge of St. Bernard effectively cut off workers who were employed by the industries along Spring Grove Avenue just blocks away. To get to their jobs, the workers had to walk across the railroad tracks, which was extremely dangerous. In 1902, the railroad companies were compelled to create a subway or tunnel under the tracks to give these workers safer access to walking to their jobs. However, the tunnel wasn't built until 1913 as embossed on the concrete header on the east side of the tunnel. The tunnel was known as the Beach Street Undercrossing as it connected Beach Street on both sides of the tunnel. When I-75 was built in the late 1950s, another pedestrian tunnel had to be built under the interstate almost 200 feet long that lined up with the tunnel under the railroad tracks. Although there was a 25-foot opening between the two tunnels. Notice that the tunnel under the railroad had a flat roof while the tunnel under I-75 had a rounded roof. Also, the tunnel under the tracks sat a bit lower than the tunnel under I-75, so a staircase with 8 concrete steps was built between the two tunnels. I did speak to one man who told me he tried to drive his MG through the tunnel but got stuck and it had to be pulled out with a tow truck. Channel 9 News in Cincinnati got wind of the story and reported it on their newscast later that evening with Al Shuttlecotty. Both tunnels were sealed shut sometime in the 1980s or 1990s. I wasn't able to find the exact year, but if you know, leave a comment below. Many years after the tunnels were closed, construction was being done on I-75 over the tunnel when the construction crews broke through the roof of the tunnel. The portion of the tunnel was filled in and construction resumed on the interstate. Thousands of people drive over this tunnel every day, and most have no idea it's down there. Did you?